friend, it's Amy Tangerine. I am back in the studio. Today I'll be sharing a simple yet powerful creative practice that can set us up for making abundance possible for the month ahead. I encourage you to use the supplies you love and have on hand. I'll be using this journal that I started back on a random day in December 2022. Feel free to use any notebook or journal you have. The reason I don't recommend a random sheet of paper though is because a journal or notebook provides a dedicated space for writing and doing your creative expressions, which can help you keep your thoughts and ideas organized. And it's easier to flip through a journal and find something you wrote a few weeks back or months ago than trying to find that same exact piece of paper. I've got the February printable, which is linked below, and I printed it on both regular copy paper and on Avery matte sticker paper, which is also linked in the description box. It's been so fun seeing some of your creations using these in the past few months, and I appreciate you sharing the love. Let's get started. You'll want some scissors, a favorite pen, and some sort of adhesive or glue stick. I'll be working in both this notebook and my planner. Because I've missed being in the studio, I've decided to get a little painty with my background. Here's a composition notebook that is a creative catch-all of sorts where I can add any excess paints or test out new color palettes. This is a watercolor brush marker by Altenew in Sunkissed. Here's a Tombow dual brush pen 985. This is Rouge, once again the Altenew brush marker. Ooh, I'm loving how this color palette is coming together. And then this one is the Altenew Ruby Red. All right, so I definitely want to use probably all of these, and I'm going to try this Tim Holtz Distress Paint in Cracked Pistachio, as well as these markers that are paint markers that have become a favorite, these Posca pens. Now this pistachio may not be perfect, although I don't think it has to match perfectly. I might try something different. I don't want to go too light, so I've got this Deco Art Americana acrylic paint that I've had for a long time. I don't think you need to use expensive supplies or even the highest quality paints. This is probably something that costs around $1 from Michael's or Joann. And I'm just taking an Uli paintbrush here, and I've had some water on it, and I'm just going to put some color down as a background. There isn't a rhyme or reason for when I do this process. I go by intuition and how it feels, and I would recommend that you do the same. I'm not actually loving the consistency of this, so I'm adding some water as I go. By setting aside time to be intentional and engage in a creative activity such as painting, journaling, or anything that makes you feel uplifted, calm, and happy, we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and what we truly want in our lives. I'm happier with the way the paint looks with a little bit of water, so I'll let that dry. And now I've got a little bit more water down here, and I've got the Rouge watercolor brush marker, and I'm using this technique that I love doing, and maybe you've seen me do it on my planner pages, where I mix the watercolor brush marker with a little bit of water and see how the effects take place and take form. It's really kind of interesting because you don't really know what to expect, and you can get a lot of various types of coverage where it almost looks pink in parts and really red in others. It's such a fun and freeing process. Ooh, look at that. That's my favorite mark. This time I'll try the watercolor first and then add the water on top of it. So you can see how it's diluted a little bit more in this technique, but it's also really nice because it offers such contrast, and you can mix up what you're doing with the water as well as the watercolor brush marker, right? Just play around with it and experiment and see how it feels to you. The creative process should feel freeing and fun as it allows you to tap into a state of flow and enjoyment. Use this time to envision how you want to feel in the upcoming month. Engaging in a creative practice can unlock our imagination and help us discover or rediscover our passions and desires, which will then enable us to manifest abundance. While waiting for the paint to dry, I cut out this from the February printable and I'm seeing where it should go. I already added some glue to it, and I think right here might be best. It looks like it actually fits perfectly, and the colors you can see look like they were very intentional and supposed to be there. And like I said before, you don't have to necessarily match everything, but I do like it when it feels coordinated and as if it happened on purpose. As I'm laying the pieces out, I'm getting a better sense of how the spread will come together with the colorful foundation. Now, I don't normally keep the printables together, but I found that this one looks really nice with the heart and the saying at the bottom. So I kept it together, and then I'm grabbing the Hello Beautiful as well as the February Feels, and they don't have adhesive on them yet, but I'm seeing that there's a little jagged edge that I want to trim off and smooth out on the February Feels. So this one has adhesive, sorry. The other ones didn't. And I guess the part of the process that I really like is playing around and shifting things around and seeing what will go best. So once I'm ready to commit, that's when I glue everything down. This heart right here is on sticker paper and it's clear, so you can see how a little bit of that aqua shows through underneath. And I love this moon as well as the future is bright underneath all together as well. So use these printables as you feel like using them. You don't have to keep them all together, but once everything's glued down, I am going ahead and taking the Tombow marker and filling in to make it look more cohesive. And I'm continuing the yellow on this side as well. That's the nice thing about mark making too, is you don't really know what to expect, and you can layer and make it seem like you planned it all along. This is the Posca pen. I'm adding some plus signs to show positivity. This is the Uniball Signo 2.8, I think. I will link it below. It is my favorite journaling pen as of late. And it's got a really fine tip, but the ink flows very smoothly and nicely, and I'm quite obsessed with it. Another favorite is this Tambo Funosuke. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I think I'm pronouncing it wrong, but it doesn't matter. It's one of my favorite pens. I'm just adding the ampersand there as well as the word hope. For the journaling here, I wrote, remember, hope is the light that guides us through the darkest of times, and it is always worth holding on to. Give yourself compassion, ease, and then this is where, if you've seen any of my videos before, you know that I mess up often. So I wrote the word ease, and I meant to just write and for some reason I wrote ing, A-N-G. So then I continued and went ahead and finished my thought, knowing that I could cover it up with something. By embracing your mistakes and not trying to be perfect, you can also be more open to trying new things and taking risks, because it's all about experimenting with new techniques. You can actually be led to a more engaging and rewarding experience, which ultimately might lead you to a better outcome. Here I wrote, others will feel the ripple effects. Under Hello Beautiful, I am writing more projects to pour my heart and soul into. What are you wanting to welcome? What do you find beautiful? Those are the things that you can write here. You can talk about things that you want to happen, maybe deeper connections with people who you love. I love the idea of embracing both and, right? The and statement is actually very powerful because you can be feeling one way and it might seem contradictory, but you can embrace the and because both can be true. You can feel like something is missing from your life and you can be grateful for all that you have. You can feel like something's missing and you can feel whole. Here I am adding a few touches where it says more time to celebrate the ones we love. By adding your own personal touches and statements to the prompts given, you invite more of what you desire into your life. No matter what season you're in, when you focus on the positive, it can lead to a more optimistic outlook and a greater sense of well-being. Plus, you get to use your supplies. This form of creative self-care, sorry, I'm only laughing because I get so much joy from using my supplies that it sounds so silly when I say it out loud so many times, but you get the idea. This form of creative self-care has worked wonders in my own life as well as many people in our community. When you trust and believe that life is working in your favor and things can only get better, you are empowering yourself to take positive action and manifest positive outcomes. This mindset can help you approach challenges with a sense of hope and resilience, which ultimately leads to a more fulfilling life. Before I show you the final spread, I am going to put a couple elements into my planner because this moon is perfect for what happened last night, and I will stick this down. I love the clear paper so much. I could have painted a background so that it could be translucent. This one I'm just cutting out of regular paper because I didn't want to see the back. I'm trying to cover up that ease, grace, and flow back there. And I'm just using adhesive to stick it on. I love the Make Yourself Proud too, so I added that as well as some journaling. Junie saw the moon from the atrium and then she saw it from the living room and yelled, "2 moons!" I thought that was so cute. Here is the final spread. Hope you enjoyed watching this process. Give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'd be so grateful if you share this video with someone who you think might benefit from seeing it. I wish you an abundant February filled with awakenings that feel illuminating and awe-inspiring. May you trust in the universe and believe that life is working in your favor. And may you be empowered to take positive action and use your crafty supplies in beautiful ways to bring about the results you most desire. Hope you feel inspired to keep those creative juices flowing. Thanks as always for watching.